If you're a big fan of manga and light novels, there's going to be some changes possibly coming in the future, at least when it comes to 7 Seas specifically. It looks like the employees have formed a union called the Union Workers of 7 Seas, and they have set their goals in negotiating better working conditions, some protections around freelancers, and yes, reprinting Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Yes, specifically Volume 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, that last part was a joke, but still, I want them reprinted. Though I say that, that's technically part of the issue here. The union itself is aimed at the fact that 7 Seas has seen a significant growth ever since the pandemic happened. They're not seeing protections for them for work conditions and being overworked, pay and benefits for them. So let's get into this. Their website specifically says 7 Seas Entertainment is the #1 independent publisher of manga, danmei, and light novels in the US. The company has grown exponentially since the start of the pandemic, but with rapid growth comes growing pains, and we, the workers of 7 Seas, have been shouldering much of the pain. We find ourselves overworked, underpaid, and we do not currently receive benefits otherwise typical of the publishing industry. We are dedicated to producing a broad range of high-quality content for our readers, except for Mushoku Tensei, but the only way we can do that is if the employees are taken care of. I'm going to take as many shots at 7 Seas for not publishing Mushoku Tensei as I can, so if that joke's getting old to you, it's not going anywhere. For these reasons, we have formed United Workers of 7 Seas. We are invoking our right to organize and administer a vote to form a union. We are working closely with the Communication Workers of America, who have helped organize and represent other workers in the entertainment and publishing industry. As a union, we seek and negotiate better working conditions for both 7 Seas employees and many freelancers who make this company what it is. We look forward to your support and solidarity. Hashtag making waves, that's cute. Hashtag our flag means union, And hashtag isekai is possible. That one, cut that one out. That's no. You're trying to make a thing, but don't. Following this on their website, they have a whole list of goals. Healthcare, paid leave, pensions benefits, paid time off, vacation, and holiday breaks. I can see those. Increased wages and transparent increased structure. Good luck there. Reasonable workloads, no more crunch. That's a good one. But again, this goes back to my argument with a lot of things. This is a standard thing in companies. Secure employment status for all? Depends what it means. Protection and benefits for freelancers. That's I'll talk about that in a minute. Clearly defined job roles and organization chart. That's every job. Again, training materials and, okay, I'll stop making comments. Training materials and onboarding, a robust scheduling and admin department, management training for all managers and supervisors, an end to exclusivity and anti-freelance contracts, anti-harassment, discrimination policies and processes for submitting grievances. That's just the law. Anyways, I'm not gonna say anything else. Bonuses and vendor gifts. What? The vendor gift thing, that technically, depending on what you're doing, can be illegal. But I'm not a legal expert, so don't take that for word. I just work for a lot of companies where you don't do that because it can be misconstrued as things that are illegal. So be very careful with that one. Okay, moving on. Reimbursements for costs. Inter-department communications, increased staff for overburdened departments. I'm not laughing at the necessity for a union. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be one of those things where I always feel like talking about unions is very difficult. The easy thing is to say it's necessary and it's to protect people. I understand that. I have dealt with a lot of unions in my life in companies and working around people who work for other companies nearby and the effects that unions have. Unions are kind of one of those things where they have a benefit and they have a negative. I've seen companies destroyed and shut down because they can't meet the requirements that a union demands. It's kind of one of those things where you have to tread carefully. The thing that I can always support unions is better working conditions. Yes, that is an easy one. Anti-discrimination, that's an easy one. Again, granted that's technically the law. A company can be in hot water for that kind of stuff. It doesn't require a union. But the issues that I really have, and I see it when I look through this list, is the overstretching what you demand. Things like requiring bonuses and stuff is where it gets into the hot water for me. When you go from requiring the necessities for the employee to trying to dip your hand into the company's pocket, that's where it gets very iffy for me. Because at some point you pull too much money out of the pocket of the company itself and it shuts down. Like I've said, I've seen it all too much with companies shutting down rather than even bothering because they no longer see profit. But again, I guess this all really relies on just how profitable 7Cs is. Seeing their metrics for how much money they're making, how much of this big boom we've seen in 7Cs specifically since the pandemic, how much of that is pushing them to having insane amounts of profit. Because yes, they make the point here. It goes from being a company that was very small to a company now that is pumping out so much content, and they're obviously seeing a lot of sales increase ever since this whole pandemic. But how much of that is pure profit? You also have to consider that during the time where they've seen these increase of sales during the pandemic, they were also seeing a massive increase in cost of materials. The pandemic was increasing the cost of paper exponentially. Go out right now and try to find lumber. It's insanely expensive, and they have to take into account those costs. How much is a company really loading up their pockets full, and how much of that money is just keeping the doors open? With this announcement, they could have easily released some sort of statement saying how much they see the company is seeing profits, but they didn't. Now, it could be because this union is keeping civil right now. For those who don't know, yes, technically a union could be allowed and acknowledged by the company itself, but this was a voted case. And currently they're standing claiming we don't want boycotts to happen in the company. I appreciate that. A union basically saying, hey, people, keep buying this stuff because we're still employed here. We still need to make money. We still need our jobs. The company needs to be alive. We're just saying as the company's alive, we need more things to make our experience more comfortable. Like I said earlier, better pay, good working conditions, those kind of things, yes, it's easy to kind of agree with. And obviously this is a necessity because otherwise you wouldn't have this large portion of the employees create this union. Unless it was created through misinformation saying that they should get paid more than they actually are because the company's making a fortune now. Again, this is difficulty stuff. This is stuff that's very hard to talk about. But we'll see where it goes from here. Like, honestly, like I said before, my fears are when you have a lot of things being asked of that are above and beyond what is required to be an employee of a company, that's where it usually gets in the very much the gray area for me, where it turns into being something that benefits the employee to it destroying the company. I'm all for people getting what they deserve, but when they get more than what they deserve, and it impacts the company, that leads to us getting higher costs in our books. And again, it could lead to the company itself crumbling. And then there's other things like, yeah, if they're being honest here, that because they've seen this rapid growth, they need things in play that will benefit them to be able to continue to succeed. It's kind of one of those things that the employees know better than the company itself. We need this thing because obviously we need it. Something, yes, an administrator or something to keep track of deadlines so that they don't keep having delays is, again, them saying they understand better, which could be true. But it all comes down to that aspect of, again, just how much money is 7Cs making? Are they making a fortune? Are they not? I don't know of any data that says they're making a fortune that could justify a lot of this stuff. But at the same time, yes, like I said before, I can't argue that you need safe and healthy working conditions for employees. But we'll see as it goes along. If they start calling a boycott, or if we get Mushoku Tensei 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 reprinted. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. I'm sure I'll get plenty of dislikes because I don't think you're allowed to talk negatively about unions anymore, but we'll see. That's just my opinion based on my experiences with companies and unions, and a lot of them around here shutting down companies. So again, like I said, there's good unions and there's bad unions, and I wish the best for them. I hope they do get the proper working conditions and pay and protections that they need. Additionally, I hope they don't overstretch their bounds and don't essentially kill the company they're trying to improve. It obviously seems based on their opening paragraph that they do appreciate this company. And so I'm going to give them on their word that this is for the benefit of the company itself. And additionally, like I said before, if 7Cs is lining their pockets, that they do protect their employees. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can get all my videos. I do news, impressions, reviews. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support us more, we have a Patreon link and a tips link in the description below. We definitely appreciate everybody that supports us, and y'all take care.